Hi everyone, Julia here from Little Shop of Nerds, and I'm here with
Mike.
So last week's hint was blue.
And yeah, we're going to be talking about this week's film, Blue, the Warmest Color. Continuing our month of Pride Month, this is another movie, which is a French film, loved by everyone, and let's get to it.
Yeah, so last week we did the Birdcage, which was about two gay men. So this week, Blue is the Warmest Color is about two women. So it starts off with, I think her name is pronounced Adele. She is, or Adelaide. I don't know if it's Adelaide or Adele, but we'll just say Adele. Yeah. But so you see her walking, and she misses the bus. She looks like she's still in high school. Um, the plot says that she's 15 years old. I don't know how true that is, but this movie it came out in 2013, but it takes place between the 1990s and the 2000s.
Mm-hmm.
So things were probably way different now, or were different then than they are now. So, I will say her friends are bitches. I did not like her friends. But like they're sitting in school and they're talking, and there's this guy that just keeps looking back at her, and they're like, "Hey, we think he likes you." They do eventually go on a date. She walks past this guy, or not this guy, this girl, and she like kind of just has like a love at first sight kind of thing going on with this girl. But she does date this guy for a little bit. She loses her virginity to him and everything. And then they break up because she just isn't feeling satisfied. But then her friend who is gay takes her to a gay bar. She leaves the gay bar, goes to a lesbian club, meets up with the blue-haired girl that she had passed on the street, months before. And they become friends. And her friends start making fun of her, saying that she's a lesbian.
And yeah, this is where like she said, they're pretty much dicks about it and being assholes about it. And yet, to me, it's none of your business what she is.
Yeah. Like, they were just like, I guess she had slept in the bed of one of her friends naked before, and she's like, don't touch my... Of course, they're using the P word. I'm not going to say it here, but they were basically just being really rude about it, and they get into a fight. But then she does end up getting together with this girl, with the blue-haired girl, when we find out her name is Emma. And Emma is at university. I think it's her last year of university, and she is a painter. She's studying the fine arts. And they both there was I am going to tell you this now. It has an NC-17 rating. That's higher than rated R, and it has some graphic sex in it. Did not know that when I suggested watching it. But it is what it is now. So there is a lot of sex, and but like Emma's mother and stepfather seem to be more accepting of their relationship than Adele's parents are, and Adele told her parents that Emma was helping her with philosophy. Emma also, or not Emma, Adele also says that she wants to be a teacher. There is a graphic novel that this movie is based off of, and it has been translated. It's completely different. There are some parts that are the same, and then there are some parts that are different. But it's. I'm gonna read the book. I'll read the graphic novel eventually. But so it shows some years have passed, and you see it looks like Adele is finally a teacher. She never goes out with her colleagues after work or anything, even though they keep inviting her to go out with them. Um, she says she had a family dinner, and that family dinner was Emma having a party, and all of her artist friends have come over for a party or whatever. Adele cooked all the food. She's serving everybody, and Emma's just not helping, not really paying any attention to her, and she's paying attention to a pregnant friend of hers. And one of the other people there is also he is, I think, the gallery owner where Emma's pieces are going to be shown or are already shown. And while him and like Emma and everybody else was talking about sex, Adele started talking to this actor, and they were having more of a um a meaningful conversation than just the others talking about sex. So eventually Adele starts to feel lonely, and she ends up cheating on Emma. Emma finds out, and she kicks Adele out of the house, or out of their house, and she's just really upset. She's trying to apologize. She's trying to explain, hey, you weren't there, and Emma did belittle her career as a teacher.
Not just her whole snooty friends did.
Yeah, everybody was just, but that one part where they were in bed, and she was telling Adele that she wanted her to write.
Well, that's just it. There's times in people. See, here's the thing. Look, I don't understand. Some people think listen. Okay, how can I put this? People just write for themselves. They don't write for others.
Mm-hmm.
To them, write for themselves is just a stress reliever,
Mm-hmm.
which I kind of agree with. I do that. I just write for myself. I don't
Mm-hmm.
write for people. But there's times if you want to do something to get you, that's up to you. But also, I don't want to look down on people what they do in life. Hell, we're freaking security guards in a crappy warehouse.
Mm-hmm.
Heck, if I saw a guy looking down on me, I'd be like, "Fuck you, bro."
I mean, we do have some of the workers there look down on us.
Yeah, and we say "fuck you."
Pretty much.
Or if they treat us disrespectfully, we can write them up.
Yeah.
And before you say that, that's not abusing our power. That we got that from the corporate, from FedEx, from our.
Ignore that. We have permission from
a corporate.
The corporate
to do,
place where we work to write them up.
My bad. FBI. Federal.
Yeah. So we have permission to do that because we are the number one defense for this company. And if they're going to disrespect us, that's insubordination, and they can be terminated for that.
And before, like, say, if they refuse to show us their badge or any ID, we can write them up and we can give them to their boss. That's because we have to take this. We take stuff seriously when you're a guard,
and especially with the company that we work for. Keeping things and everybody safe is like the utmost, is just the utmost importance.
Heck, if they say we have a threat of a guy saying he's going to show up the place, we take that seriously.
We have to take everything seriously, yes. So, but it was, so she definitely did just make her girlfriend, or made Adele just feel like unimportant, and and Adele brought that up during their conversation when they were fighting, but then she just kicked her out, and then Adele had to go live by herself. And then 3 years later, I didn't like all the close up shots of this.
Yeah, like I didn't need to see what they're eating.
The gratuitous sex was a little much. But then I also wish that they had let us know like when a time skip had happened, because I was kind of confused on what's going on now. So then come to find out, like, I honestly think that even though it wasn't explicitly stated, I honestly do think that Emma had cheated on Adele as well. Though it never came up, because I mean, she, like, it could have been completely innocent, all the nights that she was spending with Lise or something like that. Her pregnant friend. It could have been completely innocent, or they could have just been having an affair. And that's what Adele ended up doing, was having an affair, because she felt, like I said, she felt unimportant. So then 3 years later, they meet up at a bar, and or some sort of restaurant, and that's the first time that they had seen each other in 3 years. And they kind of catch up a little bit with their lives. We find out that Adele hasn't had any type of relationship. She's had some flings here and there, but nothing like substantial. But that she was a first grade teacher now, and that she loves her kids, and everything like that. And then you had Emma, who I guess was starting to go up in the world, like in the art world, like her, her art's being shown in galleries and everything. And she had entered into a partnership with Lise, and she is helping her raise her 3-year-old daughter. But Adele is definitely not over her, because I think that Emma was her first love, and I know how hard it is to get over people. Like, I know how hard it is to get over your first love, and they do share a moment where they just like start eating each other's faces in a public place, and I'm like, whoa, calm. Like, I thought they were just gonna do it right there in the booth, but luckily they stopped it. But she, Emma basically told her, she goes, I don't love you anymore, but I think it was infinite tenderness for you.
In one way, she thought she was more like a lustful experience.
Yeah, I think mainly at that point, I think it would be, I would translate it as I love you, but I'm not in love with you, is how I would like, kind of like how I would look at one of my friends or like one of my exes and be like, yeah, we had something, but we don't have it anymore. But I don't know. But Emma leaves, invites Adele to her to a gallery showing that she was gonna have, and she goes, and she just she looks around at the paintings. Lise is there. Lise points out the paintings. So when Emma and Adele were together, she did a lot of paintings of Adele, a lot of nude paintings of Adele. And she actually had one of those paintings on display. And that, kind of shows that she still has like some sort of feelings for her, but they're just not romantic in any way. So she's talking to the actor that she had talked to before, and then he gets dragged away. And then Adele's just like, I'm just gonna leave. And so she walks out. The actor tries to follow after her. But by the time he gets outside, she had rounded a corner, and he went the opposite direction. And then you just watch Adele walk off into the sunset. So, that's how it ended. And then it said, like, chapter 1 of 2, which makes me think that, well, maybe there'll be a second chapter, but I haven't found anything, a second movie. I haven't found anything on that, so there may not be a second movie. Because the manga or the graphic novel ended differently, which was, Adele was named Clementine, and she, got into drugs at one point, and she was a high school teacher, and she got into drugs. Her and Emma did actually reconcile, but then she had a seizure, and she ended up dying at the end of the book. So, book is completely. I think from what I read, it was the first 2/3 of the movie was the same as the graphic novel, and then that's where it just kind of branched off. But, like, Clementine did end up having an affair with a male colleague, just like Adele did in the movie and everything like that. So, like I said, the only differences was, Emma and Clementine did reconcile, but then Clementine died. Whereas Adele and Emma did not reconcile, and they just kind of went their separate ways. So, this showed at a film festival in 2013. It got a couple of awards. It also got some Golden Globe awards as well. 88% from critics on Rotten Tomatoes and 84% from audience. Mike didn't really like it very much.
4 out of 10.
I would probably give it. I'd probably give it a 6. Like I said, the only parts I didn't really like was the gratuitous sex, the close-up scenes, and then just I could have done without all of that. Like, it probably would have been better, but there was a lot of I mean, I might take it down to a 5.5 out of 10, to be honest, just because of all of that. I mean, there were some parts that were really good, but then there were just some parts where it was just like, ugh. So, but remember, it has an NC-17 rating, so that's above R, and that just means that there's sexual contact in the movie. So, it's kind of weird because both girls are straight.
Hell, there's a lot of straight actors who play gay.
Yeah,
roles.
but you saw what they were doing in the movie.
Maybe they just faked it.
I don't know, but
don't all women fake it?
Not always. So I do want to bring up that the actress that played Emma, she has actually been in Quentin Tarantino's Inglourious Bastards.
Oh, yeah.
Ridley Scott's Robin Hood, Woody Allen's Midnight in Paris, and the action film Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. So this French actress has been in some Hollywood movies before too.
You say Inglourious Bastards?
Inglourious Bastards, yeah.
No wonder she seemed familiar. I hated that movie too.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's our review of Blue is the Warmest Color. We still have 2 more movies for this month. And then we will be getting back into something else. If you guys have any movies that you guys want us to review, let us know.
Mm-hmm.
Or anime, books, whatever, just let us know. And
we'll get back to you.
Yeah, and just, we're up to 66 subscribers now, which is good. So if you guys have any friends that you think might be interested in this, like what we do, just let us know, or let them know that we have this podcast, and maybe we can get more. We're trying to get up to 100. Once we get up to 100, that's going to be a big milestone for us.
Yep.
So that's our milestone is 100. So we're close. We're almost there. So like and subscribe, comment below. Have you seen it? whatever. And so next week's hint is going to be banned. So just keep that in mind, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.